The colony ship Solace Dawn drifted in silent orbit above the turquoise world of Vareth. Beneath its silver hull, clouds swirled over alien seas that shimmered with bioluminescent life. It should have been a symbol of peace, the first joint human Varithi outpost after decades of war. But inside its corridors, tension hummed like a live wire. Commander Elena Torres adjusted her oxygen mask, eyes scanning the flickering control panels. Power fluctuations again, she muttered. Tell engineering to reroute coolant through the secondary conduits. Across from her, the alien Kael'thir pulsed faintly, his crystalline form glowing with slow waves of blue light. To humans, the Varithi looked like walking sculptures of glass and starlight, their voices musical and strange. I already have, Kael'thir said, his words a harmony of sound and shimmer. The conduits are reluctant, much like your crew. Elena shot him a look. You're saying the ship's systems are racist? I am saying, Kael'thir replied gently, that machines often reflect their makers. The words hit harder than she wanted to admit. The Solace Dawn had been built in haste, its human engineers uneasy with alien technology integrated into their systems. The last war had ended only a year ago, and peace was still a fragile experiment. Before Elena could respond, the deck lurched. Warning sirens screamed through the corridor. The lights dimmed, then bathed everything in red. Impact on hull section 12. A voice crackled over comms. Meteor debris or... Wait, energy signature detected. Kael'thir's glow sharpened to violet. That is no meteor. Elena's blood ran cold. Varithi raiders? Or human extremists, Kael'thir said. The universe does not lack those who fear peace. They ran for the command deck. The ship trembled again, shields failing under repeated blasts. Through the viewport, Elena saw flashes of blue fire. Energy weapons from a stealth vessel, origin unknown. Helm. Evasive maneuvers. She barked. Shields down to 30%. Reactor overheating. Kael'thir placed a luminous hand on the console. His inner light spread across the circuits like liquid silver, stabilizing them. I can absorb some of the feedback, he said. But it will damage me. Don't you dare, Elena snapped. That's an order, he turned to her. His glowing eyes caught her reflection, human, fragile, alive. And if I disobey, Commander? She hesitated. Then you'll be a damn fool. Kael'thir smiled, a ripple of gold through his crystalline chest, and linked himself to the reactor. Minutes stretched into eternity. The enemy vessel vanished into the clouds below, its attack suddenly ceasing. But the Solace Dawn was crippled, orbit decaying. Elena knelt beside Kael'thir, whose light had dimmed to a faint silver. You saved us. I preserved the ship, he whispered, voice faint like wind chimes. But the heat shattered part of my core. Elena removed her gloves, touching the fractured crystal of his arm. It was warm, impossibly so. You shouldn't have done that. You humans, he said softly, speak as though courage were a crime. Her throat tightened. You call it courage. I call it suicide. Perhaps, he said, both are the same when done for love. The word struck her like an electric pulse. She froze. Love? She repeated, unsure she'd heard right. He met her gaze, light flickering like a heartbeat beneath glass. You risked everything to come here, to trust those who once hunted you. That is not logic. That is not diplomacy. That is love, of peace, of life, perhaps of me. Her lips parted, but words failed. For months they'd worked together. Enemies turned reluctant partners. Somewhere between arguments and laughter, something had changed, something she'd buried under duty. The ship groaned, breaking her silence. Gravity shifted. They were falling. Elena sprinted to the console. We're losing orbit. Engines offline. The thrusters are within my reach, Kael'thir said, forcing himself up. Cracks webbed across his body, light leaking like blood. Don't you move, she said. You're in no condition. He ignored her, placing both hands against the deck. The lights surged, systems roaring back to life. The ship steadied, barely escaping the planet's pull. Elena ran to him, heart hammering. Kael'thir, stop! You'll burn out your core. I would rather burn, he said, his glow trembling, than see you fall. He collapsed. The lights flickered out. The ship hung silent once more. Later, when rescue teams arrived, they found Solace Dawn stable but battered. Commander Torres refused evacuation until every system was secured. Only when the last crew member was safe did she kneel beside Kael'thir's inert form. She placed her palm on his chest. No light, no hum. Just cold glass. You saved all of us, she whispered. But I never told you what you needed to hear. Her voice broke. You were right. Love isn't logical. It's the only thing that makes us human. A single tear fell, striking his surface, and something impossible happened. The crystal shimmered faintly, a spark then a glow. His eyes lit slowly like dawn through ice. Elena. He breathed, voice weak but alive. You are still here, always, she said, smiling through tears. And you're not allowed to leave me again. He laughed, a sound like music reborn. Then perhaps we will both learn what peace means. Outside the viewport, the alien world of Vareth rotated in silence, blue seas reflecting the stars. On board the Solace Dawn, two beings, once enemies, sat side by side. Flesh and light, war and hope. And in that fragile moment, the universe, for once, felt small enough for love. Somewhere between the stars and the scars of war, a human heart taught light itself how to love.